Hey folks, welcome to episode 9 of this eXplorminate tutorial series for Remnants of the Precursors. I'm really sorry that there wasn't a video yesterday. I've been trying to get one out every day if possible after that initial flurry of releases over the weekend. Unfortunately, I was out of action yesterday. I was feeling ill after partaking in a little bit too much of that Bulrathi ale. So yes, my strategic thinking skills weren't quite up to scratch. I'm going to see where it was that we got to with this, and there we go. So I remember now. So we'd just gotten an alliance with the AVRI, if that's what they are called, if that is their real names. AVRI, there we go. Yeah, we just secured an alliance, and yeah, we've got human and Bulrathi in this game too. Okay, so the AVRI look like they've started to colonize. They've taken this artifacts planet, which is unfortunate, but there we go. It's just the way the cookie crumbles. We've opened up the ability to scout some of these other systems up here in the northwest. Towards the southwest is where we're trying to expand out to. And I thought for the purposes of this tutorial, oh, this is a nice feature. Okay, so I've just actually installed the latest version that Ray's just released to the website. This is beta 1.4, and now there's a nice little quality of life feature. Look, if you click on a planet to select it, it actually highlights which one that you are looking at. This is a really nice feature. So, you know, sometimes when before you could get a little bit lost trying to figure out where it was that you were looking at. You can also now, I believe, you can click on these planets to center. That's it. You can double click to center, and you can use the mouse wheel to scroll through all your planets. And this mimics the functionality of the original hotkeys that were in Master of Orion, which is F2 and F3, which also cycle through the planets in your system. And I think F4 and F5 they cycle through planets that are actually currently being targeted by enemies. I think that was how it worked. Anyway, let's get back to the game. Yeah, for the purposes of this tutorial, I would like to get into a battle at some point. Some kind of war would be fun. So we need to start thinking about who to pick on. Now, the Bulrathi have reactivated over the last few turns, and they will be starting to look for places to expand to. Now, if they can't expand anywhere peacefully, they will go to war. Our relations with them are pretty cool. Same with the humans. It's just this alliance with the AVRI is really pushing up our relations with these guys. And they're honourable as well. So unless we really leave ourselves open by having no fleet, the AVRI probably will stick being friends with us for a while. The humans might well be a good target for us, although I'm not sure if we can reach. No, we can't reach Earth. Oh no, it's 6 light years. Okay. Yeah, so they are within range of a strike force. If we wanted to attack them, Earth would be a good option. It's a size 110 Terran planet. It has got some missile bases, but I'm fairly sure that they don't have much in the way of technology. So let's see where we are. That's the wrong screen. I want the races screen. Let's take a look at the humans and intelligence. So they've got Hyper-Vs now. Okay, so Hyper-Vs will make invasion a little bit more difficult. Just reminding myself of where we are at with regards to our own research. Yeah, we're not winning with the technology, but we're not losing either. The AVRI will likely share anything they have now. They're happy with us. But sorry, I'm just going to see where we've got with all this. Okay, so my original plan was to try to go for neutron pellet guns and inertial stabilizers. That's not happening now, but we're about to break inertial stabilizer anyway, which is going to make a big difference to our fighters. We could even put them on medium ships and make them pretty formidable. Maneuverability is really useful in this game. It's really useful. Now, we haven't got anything in the way of a fleet. And our ship, our colonies are mostly... Let's use the system screen and the exploit tab. That's the one. Yep, I want the exploit tab. There we go. And now we can, at a glance, we can see where we need to increase our production. So that was right. So Joe is halfway there. Adachi and Yoshida really need to pump up their industrial capacity as quickly as possible. I think the best thing to do is to keep Altair as our shipyard stroke tech building place. Same with Endo. Sato, I think. Oh, excuse me. If we look at Joe, yeah, we should be sending population to Adachi, and Yoshida actually might be worth sending some up here as well. Let's just really exploit our ability to grow population quicker when you're closer to 50% of your population limit. So what do we want? This will be 45, so 14. There we go. Let's get Adachi up there quickly. And Joe, is this sending any? No. Okay, we'll leave it at that. Adachi needs to get up to, it's a 45 plus. Ah, I see. So we can terraform this further. And I think we've been doing all the exploration that we can. We could do with another few scouts. It'd be good to actually get eyes on these systems up here. You never know when there's something interesting. So let's build a few scouts. Possibly at this point it might be worth us. Yeah, we don't have any scouts in any critical situations, do we? This might be an opportunity for us now to, let's scrap these existing scouts and we'll build some better ones with faster. Oh, we don't have retros. Oops. Okay, so this is a warning. Just make sure you've got the technology that you're looking for before you scrap all your ships. This wasn't critical. We didn't really have much in the way of, you know, we didn't really need these ships. They weren't particularly important. However, just remember when you're building scouts, you need reserve fuel tanks. This extends their ship range. And the only other thing you could potentially put on them maybe would be a weapon, just to frighten off any other scouts. The AI will use unarmed scouts from time to time. Just understand that will significantly increase their cost. But at this stage of the game, that's not a big problem. Let's just leave this for now, and we're going to wait until we've got nuclear engines at least. I don't think we can trade anything for this. Let's just advance the turn on. Okay. I think here, Yoshida seems to be... Yeah, we've got some kind of issue with our ecology. Yes, it's clear that the economic spend we must have. Ah, that was right. I remember. Look, we've got loads of ecology and going into this one as well. Yeah, I remember. That's why I was trying to build missile bases quickly, weren't I? So that I could get a missile base up on this planet, thinking that the Bulrathi were coming for us. It is quite possible that they will start sending ships at our planets. Now these two, there's not much we can do about Adachi and Yoshida. We could perhaps cover it with some of these fighters and build some more fighters to go. Just really not that strong. That's the only problem. Tech-wise, what have we got? We've got Hyper-Vs, and yeah, and that's it. We've got fusion bombs too. Let's scrap this destroyer design, and I'm just going to build a quick medium ship. Ooh. I like this one. That looks cool. Okay. And let's just put on some Hyper-Vs. Now we get two choices with missiles. You get one that's slightly smaller that only gives you two missiles, but the missiles are faster, so they're increased. Or you can get this one here, which is you get 5 shots, so you actually get more, but it's significantly bigger. It takes more power and more space. Bearing in mind that the more power that you're drawing, the more engines you're going to have, and that will increase the size of your ships overall. So the power rating is also kind of important. We want to get the best computers on them we can, and preferably a shield. Survivability trumps everything else in this game, generally speaking, but that's not always the case. It depends on what you're up against, but I actually prefer... we've got Duralloy too. So we can actually put duralloy on now and have 27 hit points instead of the 18 of titanium. That might be better than having shields. I suppose it depends on, you have to start thinking whether how long you're going to be in combat for. Now, actually, I think it might be better having the duralloy and not bothering with shields, because these things they're only going to have they're going to have 3 Hyper-Vs with 2 shots each. Alternatively, we could take 2 Hyper-Vs with 5 shots, so we could get 5 shots off with 2. So two missiles at a time, 5 shots off, so 10 missiles altogether, and then they're going to jump the hell out of there. That's their job. They don't stick around. No messing about. Yeah, I think that might be a decent design. Right, so let's just call this Hype V. I'm going to put a number at the end. Now the one doesn't designate it as the model number. This is I've picked this up off Ray. This gives us an indication of how far it can warp, how many light years it can travel. So it's because it's quite important later to be able to. Sometimes, you know, if you've got a mixed fleet and some of your fleet have only got warp engines, and you know the old ones, the retro engines, and some of them have got the faster. If you send them all at once to a different system, and they'll all travel at the speed of the slowest ship. So sometimes it can be handy to have it indicated actually on the ship what it is, so that you can, you know, oh, okay, well that's going to be slow, so I need to send those separately. Let's get. Mind you, we'd probably be. This is the wrong place to do it. I don't know why I'm doing it here. Come on, Ben, think. Okay, let's take the tech spending down here, and we'll build some of these Hyper V1s. We don't want many of them. We can build 2 a year. That's not too bad. Let's get 2 of these up a year. That's cool. That's the most we can put in there. And we're immediately going to set a rally point down to Adachi, and let's rally them down there, because this planet is, you know, this is the most likely. Or these 2 planets are the weakest, most likely to get bombarded. We've got a missile base on Sato, Endo, and Altair. 1 missile base is nothing, by the way, especially with nuclear missiles. We might be able to upgrade them to Hyper Vs now. Oh, I think they've already been upgraded to Hyper Vs. So, yeah, and 1 missile base isn't going to do anything. However, it will just stop them sending a few fighters over and blockading your planet and bombarding it. Okay, so we've got the 2 Hyper Vs. There's the inertial stabilizer. And we want nuclear engines next, so that we can actually get some faster ships. We might be able to actually trade this. Oh, excuse me. We might be able to trade this technology now with the AVRI. Let's just see what they're saying. Okay, no, they've got everything that we've got, so it would be good to try and get this nuclear engines as quickly as possible. Controlled dead's about to break. That's good. We want that. That will enable us to colonize those dead planets. We could also colonize this ship. Now, generally speaking, you want your empire to be as large as possible, and there is a penalty to this. Once you hit a certain size, you will the AI will realize that you're getting big, you're getting powerful, and you will start receiving a really significant modifier, a negative modifier to your diplomatic relations with the AI. Because they suddenly start seeing you as the biggest threat in the galaxy, and they're thinking, uh-oh, we need to deal with this guy quick, because otherwise he's going to win game. And AI wants to win game too. So you do want to expand as quickly as possible, generally, because you don't want the AI to take a lot of these planets. But this is why this is such a great game, because you do have to balance this out. It's like, do I expand quickly, get a big empire at the risk of upsetting all my neighbours? Now, my neighbours here aren't particularly strong, so this is probably a wise thing to do, but just bear in mind that they will start ganging up on you. The alternative is that you leave some of these planets, and you quickly work on your production, and you kind of play tall. So what I mean by that is you rely on less planets, and then you max out your technologies so that you can put more. So that you have better robotic control technologies, which means that each population can control more factories, right? This is something the Meklar are particularly good at. But this is another thing that you can do. It keeps your number of planets down, yet you are then focusing, you're still getting a big production and hopefully a population bonus too, because you're racing through the planetology and computer techs and construction and that kind of thing. So generally it's better to have more planets, but just be aware, especially on the higher difficulty settings, the AI will punish you for it. Also, you have to consider whether you can actually defend these planets. Like, for example, I've got 2 very early development colonies. Well, this is kind of early development. We'll just go back to that exploit screen. Look, we really need to develop these 3 planets before we really take anywhere else. Now, it might be smart to take this planet anyway, because it will allow us to leapfrog into the rest of the galaxy in this southwesterly direction. However, we will struggle to populate this quick, and also, if we're not able to focus our spending on these planets here, it's smarter generally to kind of to pick your planets up to the point where they're self-sustaining, and then they can quickly build all the infrastructure that you need on a new colony. With that in mind, I'm just going to have a look at the colony screen and see what we've got in our treasury. We've got 234 billion credits. So let's just sort it by production, and yeah, I'm going to put some into Adachi. So let's put some, just transfer some into the, oh, that's Yoshida, sorry. So let's go to Adachi and transfer funds, and let's just get, if I put 100 in, that's gonna put it a little bit of a buffer. So for the next few turns, it will take double the base production rate out each turn. So that will help. And I think we can go to the next turn. We built some more of those Hyper-Vs. Let's get about 10 of these. Even if they are going to be outdated relatively soon, it's still good for us to build our fleet strength up. We don't want to look too weak. The AVRI might be our allies, but Ray's put something into Remnants of the Precursors that wasn't in Master of Orion, which is this war of opportunity idea. So generally, honorable in Mu, honorable character types wouldn't break alliances, but in Remnants of the Precursors they will if you're easy pickings. If you haven't got the fleets or the missile bases to be able to defend your systems, they're going to be like, yeah, you suck, mate. I'm taking that. So they will come along and take your systems. So we don't want to do that. And really, I think I was explaining this in one of the previous episodes, but AVR, their homeworld, is within striking distance of mine and some of my core planets, right? I mean, actually, most of their planets will be. I mean, if we just look at Altair, we'll just use this tool here. So I mean, 6. Maybe not actually. I think it was 6. It was 6 light years, wasn't it? That the drives that we've got. But the AVRI, I think they've got some better technology than us. Intelligence. Yeah, they've got sublight drives, and if I remember right, sublight drives are going to give us 7 light years, I think. So they could probably reach our homeworld, and we can't reach them. Oh, we could reach them from Sato. Anyway, you get the idea. We're close, and close proximity means that it would be difficult to defend ourselves. Usually, when you're planning an invasion, you want to pick a planet to start your invasion, your entryway into their sort of territory. So, for example, let me think about. Let's just look at the Bullrathi and see how we would do this, right? So, what we do is we look at all their planets, find the ones with most population and factories, and we invade that one first if we're in range. The alternative is to take the one that is easiest to take. Now, if you think that you can quickly enough bully them into a peace agreement after taking a settlement, you can kind of do as much damage to them as possible, and often that will be to try and take some systems from them. The alternative, it actually depends on their characteristics, right? Militarists, the best way to try to get peace with these guys is to destroy as many of their fleets as possible. Industrialists really care about their industry, so if you bomb their factories, or you take planets from them, and with large amounts of factories on, then that's going to increase their modifier that will push them towards a peace treaty. And diplomats, I'm not sure. I don't know if Ray actually watches these videos, but if he does, perhaps he can answer that. I'll ask him later. I don't remember now, but I know militarists, you have to attack their fleets, and industrialists, you have to attack their factories. Ecologists, if you bomb their population, I think. Diplomats might be population. So if you kill lots of pops, that might do it. I forget now, but yeah, it's something like this. Just so that you know, there is some nuance in the system with regards to even the surrender mechanics. Yeah, this Remnants of the Precursors has got some real nuance in the way that it works. So if we were planning an invasion, we would try to find a weak system that we could use to crowbar our way into, through their defenses. Now, often you will find that there'll be let's say that we'd taken Nazu here, right, and we were being invaded by some undefined colony, undefined civilization down here. If we had taken Nazu, that would be the entry into our system, right? Because they would be able to take Nazu. There's nothing really around it. There's only Yoshida that I can kind of retaliate from. Perhaps Adachi, maybe? Nope. Yoshida. So, and this is not even a developed planet. So this would be a great place for them to come and conquer. And then they've immediately used that as a relay station, so they can recharge their fuel cells and they can get into the rest of my system. So it would then be Yoshida, and then they get access to the rest of my galaxy. So there are multiple things that you want to be looking at, and it depends on the geography of the relative locations of each of the civilizations. It would, if you don't need some jumping station and you've got a pick of several, like in this case, you can either go for the easiest planet to take, or you can go straight for their planet with tons of factories and just do as much damage as you can before they can react. For example, if we were to take Midgard, which I believe is the Bulrathi's home planet, Midgard, yes. So if we were to take Midgard, and this is their home world, right? If we bombed all their factories, or we managed to invade them, even though that's really hard against the Bulrathi, but let's say that we turned up with loads of fusion bombs and we just glassed the planet, that would destroy them. That is one of their main factory centers. They've got another one here, and they've got a smaller one here. But generally, if you took out their main industrial center, that's game over for the Bulrathi. At least it will make things a lot more difficult for them. It will also, they will never forgive you for this. So you just have to bear in mind. It depends on what you want from your invasion. Are you trying to take territory? Are you trying to get them to back off? Because if you destroy a lot of their industry, it will affect their ability to wage war. Are you waging war because there's another AI race that you want an ally with, and they've got a war with that people? That's another reason. And it can be good to try to figure out how to sue for peace as quickly as you can, so that you've gotten your alliance, you've gotten what you wanted, but you don't maybe want to be in a war. Every billion credit you're spending into ships, into fleets, missile bases, this kind of thing, is billion credits that is not going into developing and researching new technologies. And technology is what you want. The higher I was reading on the forum the other day, somebody was saying, once you've got a significant tech advantage in this game, that's the biggest advantage that you can get. If you've got a significant tech advantage, particularly with the military techs, over your opponents, you can use much smaller fleets in order to decimate thousands and thousands of theirs. So really, technology is where you want to be going, because the higher up the tech tree you go, the stronger your empire will be. So that's something to bear in mind when you're deciding who you want to go to war with. Let's just keep these turns rolling. I'm happy with building a few more ships here. So let's just get these Hyper-Vs out. Let's see where these these are AVRI fleets. I wonder where they're going. They're not at war with the Bulrathi. Yeah, okay. I'm not sure what's going on there. I think, bearing in mind that when you've got an alliance, they will start sending ships and stationing them at your bases, because just like you, they want to expand. They want to explore the galaxy as well and find out what's out there. So they like to plot their next moves, just as we do. Okay, there's probably enough Hyper-Vs. I might just drop it down to 1 per year and get some more technology and research. See if we can get some of this tech going. If we just take a look at our relative fleet strengths now. Yeah, they're still not... The Bulrathi have really got powerful fleet strength. I wonder if they're built colony ships. No, they've just got lots of... They're sending transports out too. I think they're... Oh, I see what's happened. They've just taken these 2 planets. Or they've just taken this planet here. How did I miss that one? I wasn't paying attention. Okay, no problem, no biggie. So... Yep. If you can see what I'm just checking to make sure that all my planets are they're at where I want to be with regards to spending. Yeah, we're nearly maxed the factories out on this planet now on Joe, which is good. The next thing to do there will be to build more missile bases. Once we've maxed our factories out, we can start growing population. Once that's all maxed out completely, we're going to start building missile bases. Now, I would really like to be able to get some shielding technology. Doesn't look like anyone's got any. We can get personal deflector shields, which will be useful. Yeah. Okay. See if we can get an increased trade agreement with the Bulrathi. Even if we do intend to attack them eventually, it might be worth just... Yeah, they don't look like they're very happy with us, so let's get a bigger trade agreement. Okay, they've gone for that. Now we could get some technology from them. They've got HyperX rockets, and then I might take that for... Let me just see what HyperX is. Let me just have a look at the manual. HyperX is in weapons. HyperX is level 8, so I suppose if we could swap it for Iridium fuel cells, although that will give them extended range. There's always a trade-off, you see. This is it's just such great choices you have to make in this game. So, I mean, I don't want controlled Baron. That's no use to me. Nuclear engines is good. We do want that, although I think I can research that myself. However, it's HyperX I've not got in my tech tree. And that's the next level of missiles up, right? So the Hyper-V rockets and the HyperX missiles. The HyperX will also upgrade our missile bases, which will make them much more formidable, and we can put them on our ships too. Nuclear engines will make us move faster. However, I mean, what will they take for nuclear engines? Nuclear engines is level 6, and we could swap it for... maybe fusion bomb. I don't know. If we're going to go to war, we don't want to be giving them anything that's going to give us a big advantage over them. But HyperX rockets, no, I've upset them. Yeah, just if you dither around on that screen, they will eventually get upset with you. So just be aware of that. I wonder what the humans have got. They've got improved eco restoration, which will be useful. Improved eco restoration. It's level 5 tech in planetology, and this allows you to. You spend less. I think you spend less credits on pollution cleanup. So it boosts your economy significantly because you don't have to. All of a sudden, you're not spending so much money cleaning up waste from all your factories. That's important. Actually, that might be worth getting. I'll swap that for Battle Computer Mark II. No problemo. Okay. Now I don't think that was something I was researching. No, it wasn't. Yeah, it's always worth checking that first. So. Yeah, where were we on the planetology? Improved, yeah, it's level 5. That's right. Okay, so that was a good little technology. Now you'll see that we'll be able to, if we just drop this down to where the waste is. Let's just look at Joe as an example on this screen. See where the slider bar is. Let's just flick it onto the next turn. There's improved eco restoration, and you'll see now we can drop that significantly. Do you see that? So now you'll see just how much money you saved just with that one technology. That is significant. It's a really, really significant thing. It means that we can pump much more money each turn into shipbuilding, into technology, into terraforming, whatever. It's just money that's in the bank. Yeah, let's just build a few more of these Hyper-V ones. The Bullrathi will probably still want to trade that Hyper-X, and we're going to swap it for... I don't want to give them inertial stabilizer. I'll give them the fuel cells for it. So now we've got the next turn we'll have Hyper-X rockets, which means all these missile bases that we've built, we can actually start upgrading them. Let's just take the... we've almost maxed out the factories on this planet. I'm going to instantly put the rest into Hyper-X. Let's just increase the amount of missile bases here. I mean, five Hyper-X missile bases on Joe will be enough to deter the Bullrathi. I actually don't think the Bullrathi will attack us unless they've got nowhere else to go. Now, the reason why I say that is because they will be at war not only with myself but also with the AVRI too, and the AVRI will not be shy about trying to take their planets. So let's go to the next turn. And there we go, there's the Hyper-X. So these explode for 8 points of damage, move at a speed of 2.5, and they've got extra targeting on the computers. So I'm going to finish the episode here, guys. Thank you for watching. Yeah, we've hit the time limit now, so I'll catch you in the next one, and let me know how you're finding the series. Take care, guys. Bye.